The world is obsessed with power, and history has always bowed to the man who possesses it, whether that strength is physical, mental, or spiritual. We live in an age of extraordinary exhaustion, where the average man is a walking ghost, drained of his vitality and hollowed out by a culture of instant release. But there is a league of extraordinary beings who understand that success requires an immune system so powerful that they don't even have the time to be sick. True mastery begins with a refusal to be ordinary, starting with the reclamation of the biological fuel that determines your fighting spirit. Look at the men around you: sunken eyes, thinning hair, and a total absence of stamina, victims of a quiet, daily suicide of their life force. They have traded their zinc, their testosterone, and their courage for a momentary shadow of pleasure. To rule your universe, you must first stop the leak that is making you a skeleton of your true potential. Imagine a state of being where your presence creates its own atmosphere, a localized gravity that pulls respect and opportunity toward you without effort. This is not the result of a facial cream or a theatrical trick. It is the internal glow of a man who has integrated his instinct. When you retain the seed, your body stops wasting energy on survival and starts investing it in conquest. Your gaze stabilizes, your mind sharpens, and the world begins to orient itself around your stillness. The benefits of this path are not mere myths. They are physiological certainties that manifest as a radiant skin, a resonant voice, and an unbreakable will. In the high-stakes arena of modern life, a single week of illness or brain fog can destroy a year of progress. By protecting your essence, you build a fortress around your health, ensuring that your mission is never interrupted by the frailty of a depleted body. You become a soldier of your own destiny. Consider the legends who shaped our reality, the leaders, the visionaries, and the saints who all eventually realized that sexual energy is simply the raw form of creative genius. They didn't just practice discipline, they tested their limits to prove that the mind could stand as a master over the most primal urges. They understood that, to become a leader respected by all, one must first possess an energy that is undiluted and sovereign. Semen is the literal seed of the universe, a concentrated drop of cosmic intent that modern medical science often dismisses as a mere biological byproduct. While they claim it is harmless to discharge, they ignore the dopamine-fueled addiction that follows, a cycle that erodes the foundation of a man's character. Every time you leak, you are selling a piece of your future focus for a hit of happiness that leaves you more miserable than before. The importance of this seed in our current era cannot be overstated, as we are surrounded by a landscape designed to keep us weak and reactive. A man on retention doesn't need external motivation or self-help videos, because his energy is his motivation. He wakes up with a fire in his blood that demands action, a zeal that makes him move toward his goals with the precision of a predator. He is no longer seeking energy. He is energy. When you start this journey, the shift is first felt within the quiet corridors of your own nervous system, where the noise of anxiety is replaced by the hum of readiness. You no longer fear the struggle, you crave the war. You realize that everyone must fight their own battles, whether they are on a battlefield or in a boardroom. Retention gives you the armor and the weapon to win those battles before they even begin. Modern life is a trap of constant stimulation that leads to a state of mental and physical bankruptcy, visible in the dark circles and trembling hands of the masses. Men use thick glasses and supplements to hide the fact that they are rotting from the inside out due to their own lack of restraint. To be extraordinary, you must stop being a slave to your impulses and start being the architect of your own biological empire. The transformation is so deep that it reshapes your identity from the level of your atoms to the frequency of your thoughts. You stop being a person who is trying to be successful and become the success itself, a walking evidence of what happens when a man honors his seed. This is the path of the warrior, the monk, and the king, a singular road that leads to a height where the air is thin but the view is infinite. If this video gave you real value, tap the thanks button. Your support helps me keep creating deeper content like this. Every thanks is a spark that keeps this mission alive. Your support means more than you know. Like, share, and subscribe to stay connected. Tons of happy New Year 2026. Have powerful year. Stay blessed with health and wealth. I have seen men reclaim their lives from the brink of total collapse, simply by deciding that their life force was worth more than a screen. They stopped being the corpse of their former selves and started becoming the Fauji, the soldier of their own existence. This is not about being a saint. It is about being a master of your own internal laboratory, where the seed is the most precious chemical you possess. True confidence doesn't speak. It only needs to be coherent, a state achieved only when there is no internal contradiction between your desires and your actions. When you hold your energy, you remove the static from your signal, making you legible and safe to respect. Others sense this clarity and gravitate toward it because they are starving for the stability that a retained man provides by his mere existence. The world is a mirror that reflects the level of control you have over your own spirit, and the seed is the anchor of that control. If you cannot master the urge of your own body, how can you expect to master the fluctuations of the market or the loyalty of your peers? The universe bows to the man who can stand in a room of naked temptations and remain a king of his own will. We are entering a time where presence is the only true currency, and presence is impossible without the accumulation of internal power. By choosing the long-term strength of the seed over the short-term release of the moment, you are building a legacy that will outlast your physical form. You are becoming a part of the league of those who rule, not by force, but by the sheer density of their presence. The rituals of retention are the secret codes of the elite, the hidden practices that allow a man to work for hours with a terrifying intensity. He doesn't need coffee or stimulants because his brain is fueled by the transmutation of his own biological gold. He is a visionary who sees the world in high definition. While others are stumbling through the fog of their own self-inflicted depletion, this path requires a total honesty with oneself, a willingness to admit where you have leaked your power, and a vow to never return to that state of mediocrity. It is about realizing that every drop of your essence is a brick in the wall of your future empire. When you protect the seed, you protect your destiny. And the world has no choice but to adjust to your new, undeniable frequency. As you progress, the predator within awakens not as a force of violence, but as a state of supreme readiness and calm watchfulness. You act only when necessary, but when you move with the weight of the entire universe behind you. This is the silence that commands respect, the stillness that wins wars, and the gravity that defines a leader worth following into the dark. The businessman who once felt like a ghost now finds that space organizes itself around him, his decisions becoming sharper and his boundaries non-negotiable. He is no longer a seeker. He is a provider of clarity in a world of confusion. He has found the forbidden truth that the power to rule the universe is located just a few inches below his own navel, waiting to be used. The story of your life will be written in the energy you choose to keep, not the energy you choose to discard for a moment of dust. Be the man who chooses the fire, the man who chooses the seed, and the man who chooses to rule his own internal kingdom. This is the real-life example of a man who stopped being a servant to his urges and became a god of his own reality. If this video gave you real value, tap the thanks button. Your support helps me keep creating deeper content like this. Every thanks is a spark that keeps this mission alive. Your support means more than you know. Like, share, and subscribe to stay connected. Tons of Happy New Year, 2026. Have a powerful year. Stay blessed with health and wealth. 2026 is your execution year, not a wish year. Retain your energy, build discipline, and let your actions speak louder than cravings. Every urge you master strengthens your identity. Power is not gained, it is conserved and directed. Stop leaking your potential, protect your seed, and watch your focus, confidence, and life rise together. Walk this path with the quiet pride of one who knows a secret that the rest of the world has forgotten. Let the imposters speak of their streaks while you embody the transformation in your very marrow. The seed is your power. The seed is your glory, and the seed is your path to ruling the universe in total, absolute, and beautiful silence.